On June 10th, 2025, exactly at 12 p.m., a man in his 30s of Asian descent wearing a hat and sunglasses to conceal himself came to my house and rang the doorbell. He vividly searched for a front camera and when he discovered it, just stared at it for a couple moments. When a family member answered, he asked if Andrew was home. My family member initially misunderstood and thought he said a similar sounding female name, so they responded that she was not home. The man then repeated Andrew, and my family member corrected themselves, saying no one named Andrew lived there. The man asked, "Who are you?" And my family member replied, "I am her daughter." Upon hearing this, he appeared visibly disturbed and in disbelief, as if something didn't add up for him or instead all clicked. He then left but returned a few minutes later to ring the doorbell again. When no one answered, he slipped a handwritten letter under the door. The envelope was addressed to Prince Andrew, and inside the letter was signed by the name of Louis Valentine. The letter claimed that since 2015 he had received three knight titles and three prince titles but had never received any funds related to them. He asked for instructions on how to be a prince and how to earn a living from it, expressed confusion about what kind of god he could learn from, and requested help to recover six lost funds connected to these titles, referring to his diplomas as betraying him. This is the exact same man who sent a very similar letter nearly a year ago, only that nobody was home at that time of it, with identical handwriting and reference disorganized rambling to Prince Andrew. Same appearance, same handwriting, same context. Genuinely, what is happening? Me, 19 female, and my boyfriend, 21 male, were just at a really pretty river in our town. A bit out of the way, but definitely worth the trip. We were there at about 7 p.m., which is a bit late to be there, but the rules of the spot indicate you can't be there past dark. And it was still light out. We were only planning on being there about 30 minutes or so anyway. We were just relaxing for about 10 minutes, taking turns playing music on our phones, when all of a sudden, from one of the houses on the hill, which I feel like the hill is close enough to sort of see each other but not hear us talking or the music unless it was blasting, a guy, I didn't have glasses but my boyfriend said looked to be about 50s or 60s, shined a bright flashlight on us. We immediately turned off the music, and me and my boyfriend were like, okay, he probably wants us to leave. But also, it isn't dark out yet, so we're allowed to be here. My boyfriend yelled to him in a friendly manner, "Hey, what's up, man?" Or something, and we yelled stuff like that a few times and he didn't respond, just shut off the flashlight and then turned around and went to the other side of the balcony. We were already really creeped out by this, so I kept looking at the balcony. After about 3 minutes, he turned back around and shined the flashlight on us again, and he just turned it off and went inside. I kept looking because I was super creeped out, and it seemed like he was turning the lights or the TV off in his house, and then he came back outside and climbed over his balcony. Went down the hill filled with fog a little bit, and then behind a tree and peeked behind it. And he stared at us. At this point, I stood up and was demanding we leave. We were leaving, and my boyfriend, a little hot headed, as he yelled something like, "You," to the guy. and almost immediately after he shined his flashlight at us again, we just kind of booked it out of there after that. I honestly wouldn't be posting this on here if it weren't for him staring at us behind the trees. That was the breaking point for me. I don't care if you're just trying to intimidate the kids to get away from the river by your house, but peeking behind a tree, who the heck does that?